2 years ago, I decided to paint the regular customers at my grocery store job that I hated, and somehow it changed my life, and I am now working with my dream job. And here is that story, because it's not that simple in real life. The STAMMIS portrait series, my creep, if you will, my take me to church, my first viral project, the project that put me on national television, the project that basically enabled my entire artist career. I don't even know how many people have seen them now, but every time I do post them, there is always a bunch of questions that I think are pretty hard to answer one by one, so I thought I could do a full storytime video today. Because even though they were made when I was an amateur artist, or whatever, that word, I hate that word. I've done many bigger projects since, it still holds a special place in my heart and might actually be my favorite thing to date. Basically, I started this job when I was very depressed, 18 years old, in high school, during a pandemic, and looking for a job, and I ended up working at my local grocery store as a checkout girl. As a checkout girl. There are many things that I hated about that job, and looking back on that entire era kind of gives me anxiety because I was in such a bad place. But to this day, I believe that it is the second most important thing to ever happen in my life. Why is making angry? During my teenage years, I had so much social anxiety, and just talking to the cashier when I was shopping gave me panic. When I had to be on stage, or when I did school presentations in front of the class, I would throw up in front of everybody multiple times throughout my childhood. I've always been super shy, afraid to talk to people. Even if it was just to say thank you or something, this wave of self-hatred and embarrassment would wash over my body. And why? This job kind of forced me to really challenge myself, and it pushed me to kind of get those social skills rolling. And as I got more comfortable and started talking to people, I realized how much I love humans. After 1 year of working there part-time, I graduated high school and I started working there full-time. But there was one thing at this time that gave my life meaning, and that was the regular customers at my job. Because as someone who dealt with mental illness throughout my entire adolescence, talking to them made me feel normal, and seeing them happy because of something that I did gave me so much joy. And also seeing so many walks of life and hearing all of their life stories also gave me so much inspiration and hope for the future. And during those interactions, I remember thinking oh my god, this is the meaning of life. This is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to connect and learn from each other. Hello? I found these meetings so inspirational, and that is kind of where this dream exhibition of mine was born. As a portrait artist who's very interested in capturing people, I was also really fascinated by seeing what people would buy. I just feel like a person's grocery shopping cart is like a portrait in of itself. So the original idea was actually to keep their receipt and then either paint their portrait on the back or paint a portrait, and then instead of the note that says oil on canvas 2023, I wanted to have their grocery store receipts have it work as a double portrait, and it would have been so good. I would like to do that in the future, but I didn't have the balls to ask them for that because it felt kind of intrusive to ask for the receipts and stuff. But at the time, I was only doing art for fun, and pursuing it as a career was nowhere on the map. It wasn't even a possibility for me. And then I meet Andy, and my life changed so drastically. I fall in love at first sight, and all of my grocery customers are keeping up with the drama. When I first started texting, I would ask all of the customers, oh my god, what should I reply? And after like 2 weeks of meeting him, I would start inviting all of the customers to my wedding because I was so in love. I had applied for an art school for fun, but I never intended on going because I liked my job. But then when I met Andy, he was so supportive of my art, and he is kind of what pushed me to quit my job and pursue art school instead. And then one day over dinner, I was telling him about this silly little project that I wanted to do with my customers, but I didn't have like the guts to ask them. And he was like, you have to do it, you have to do it, you only have a few months left, it's now or never, it's brilliant, you gotta do it, you gotta do it. And I was so nervous to ask them. But I managed to collect myself, and I asked if they would be a part of my school project because I wanted to use it for my portfolio. Surprisingly, like 80% of the people I asked said yes. And with each person, it got easier and easier to ask. First, I only picked the ones I knew super well, but then with time, I started asking anybody. I really like your beard or something. Can I paint you? So for a few weeks I gathered all the photos, and then I had like 2 weeks of summer vacation where I just like painted every single day. And this is the first one I ever did, and then I ended up doing 20. They're all made with Winsor & Newton's water mixable oils on canvas pad. You know, and then during my last week I made a small print of all of them, and I gifted it to them, and I told them that it was my last week and thanked them for always bringing me such joy and for letting me paint them, and it was just very, very sweet. Most of them were really excited because it's kind of struck me that, oh, regular people, both historically and nowadays, never get their portraits painted, and I think that's a shame. But then of course with some it was like very sad and emotional because I was moving to a different city. I met these people every single day, and some of them who would do like the, you know, horse games where you kind of bet money and stuff, they would stand next to me for like 5 hours a day and just like talk to me. I'm gonna read the artist statement out loud so you get an idea of the project. STAMMIS is a Swedish word for a regular customers who purchases products or services from a person or business frequently. Then it says, I worked in the post office of a grocery store for 2 years before quitting to study art. Although moving on has been a relief, this job meant a great deal to me, and I'm forever grateful for the people I met there. It had a group of many beautiful, interesting regulars that would breathe so much life and warmth into my repetitive and bleak shifts. So during my last months, I started a portrait project of some of my favorite characters. I miss chatting with them so much. So in summary, I think it was a way for me to close a very important chapter of my life and also say thank you and give back to these customers who had given me so much for 2 years. Also, if you would be interested in buying one of the STAMMIS booklets, I really recommend you hurry. I think I have like 5 of each size left, and I will not be printing anymore. So I'm just saying, first come, first serve. Then I quit and I started art school, and if you haven't seen my video on that, I absolutely hated it. Almost ruined my life. I was put on sick leave for my mental health issues that kind of creeped back in, and I was home all day, and I was just like, okay, it doesn't hurt to try TikTok or whatever. Like maybe there is another route that fits me in my artwork. It's really sad to think now, but I was considering quitting art forever because art school broke me, guys. I did a little TikTok video and it blew up. I got like millions of views and so many heartfelt comments, and it was so fulfilling. Like not the views, but seeing the heartfelt comments and seeing the magic of what I had felt made people on the other side of the world connect and feel that same energy. I had made what I had always loved about other people's art myself. You know, I had You know, with these tubes of thick liquid, I had translated emotions across the world. As someone who's always been watching Portrait Artist of the Year and loved portraiture, you know, and seeing people comment like, I feel like I know these people, is like the greatest compliment of all time. And unintentionally, this format that I edited them in is like the perfect ad for portrait commissions, because people can see this is what the person looks like, this is what I can do to commemorate them. So people started asking me for commissions of their loved ones. I was so shocked that so many people were willing to spend their hard-earned money on me who had so little experience. So I started with PayPal commissions, and then I started building my website, and I kept posting on TikTok. And I decided that I'm going to give art my everything for 6 months. And if it doesn't work or if I hate it, I will get a job, but for 6 months I am going to give it my all. And then I honestly just think I was super lucky, or that maybe God or the universe was like, okay, homegirl has had a pretty rough decade, let's give her something. And they blew up even bigger, and Swedish National Broadcasting Station did an interview with me, and a lot of magazines wrote about me. In August of 2023, I got like 20 commissions at once, and I was painting every day. I was so stressed. I was making more money than at the grocery store. So I was just like, oh my god, I guess it's happening now. And then a gallery called Belamonte Art reached out to me, and they offered to host a solo exhibition with me free of charge, which was incredible. So this was all less than 1 year ago, and I have since then had more than 10 group exhibitions, 2 solo shows, a lot of commissions, 3 television appearances, and 2 successful Instagram accounts, and now a YouTube channel. So everything has been going super fast. I am having a very hard time keeping up. Definitely a lot of imposter syndrome, but above all, just gratitude. I have no idea what the future holds. I am low-key tempted at getting a part-time job just because I miss the social interactions so much. I forgot to mention them, but if any of my co-workers from the store are watching, thank you so much. They were always helping you when you were confused, and always making you laugh when things were boring, and thank you. I do think I have to do something creative to feel fulfilled in life. But that being said, I miss the people at the job every single day. All in all, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this type of storytime videos, I am planning on making a similar video about my Muse exhibition, my first solo show, and kind of talk about the behind the scenes and process of that, if you'd be interested. I'm usually a bit scared to do them because English is not my first language, because like when I edit them I'm like, oh my god, my accent is too heavy. I have around 10 STAMMIS booklets left, so if you want one, now is the time, because I will not be continuing them. So thank you for watching.